Good morning. So, that mattress has air in it, but you're not on that one. You're on this one. What happened to you?
My bad. I don't know.
Was it inflated when you went to sleep?
Yeah. Kind of.
Look, there's another one that nobody's sleeping on too. but you're on this one. Those both stayed inflated through the night, but you're on this one, Kelly. Look, that one's inflated. That one's in. Why did you pick the only mattress in the whole place that doesn't hold air?
I don't know.
How'd you sleep?
Terrible. I woke up and it was deflated, and I was like, I gotta stay here now.
All right. Good morning, guys. Welcome to today's video. We are staying today at the mansion, which is more like a fire festival of Airbnbs for us, because the idea was, oh, it's this beautiful mansion and we can fit 160 people here and it's great and whatever. Well, that's great for the people who showed up early, but we had to stay behind to transport Adam's car and deal with stuff at the track and all that stuff. So we showed up late with Aaron and the other group, and when we get here, there's absolutely no bedrooms left, like not a single bedroom in the whole entire place. And we're kind of like, okay, well, where do we go? There's a house over there. No, don't go to that one. There's a house over there. No, don't go to that one. Well, how does anyone know where to go? Where do we go look for rooms? It's this huge complex compound, and there's cars everywhere. Everyone's parked everywhere. And I'm like, can anyone just tell me, like, where do we find someone? What do we do? And everyone's just like, whatever. I don't know, man. Like, we figured it out. You figured it out. It's like, thanks, guys. Cool. Great. That's really great. Enjoy your time in your bedroom. We'll go find somewhere to sleep on the floor. So that's what happened. It's like, oh, well, there's the floor over there, and there's some mattresses. So even though everybody paid the exact same amount to be here, you can go sleep on the floor. So awesome. Other than that, it was fun. We got to hang out, and all the guys were chatting and having a good time. And so that side of things was fun. I think basically it just got out of control. It was definitely way overbooked for the capacity of the place. But another problem we're gonna have is the entrance to this place. I guess when they were coming in with the trailer last night, it's such a gnarly down and up dip that the trailer like dragged the whole way. And so Aaron was telling me, he sent me a text this morning because we're late leaving. He said, as you're going out, they had to put it in 4 low just to get out of the driveway. So we're probably gonna have to have someone scope out in the street, and we're just gonna have to bomb down and just try and make it up and drag dirt again. So hopefully that doesn't end up becoming a huge problem. Mikey and Joey took my car. They're going to the drive shaft place to try and find the part for the Cressida, which is on the trailer, so that they can get the parts, go to the track, meet us there, and then fix the Cressida, because the drive shaft place closes at noon and it's already like 10. So they've got a bit of a drive to go find that. We're driving at Adams in Riverside today, so that should be fun. We're doing that for 2 days. It's a very tight go-kart track. I'm not super concerned about getting there early and having a ton of seat time, but I do want to have some fun driving that track. So we've got a few things to do today to get that going, but all in all, my car's pretty good. No, my car's not good, actually. I got to take that apart and fix the front end. Forgot about all that, so I probably won't touch the track until 2 o'clock today, but it's all right. It's part of the journey. We just exited the Airbnb. I forgot to get out and film it because it was kind of a high stress, like people spotting the road, but Luke gets out there. He's like, all right, traffic stop. We're like mobbing down the hill. Freaking, we go from low gear. I upshift to first, from low to first, so we're second gear, and we're like, bah! And then we go mobbing up the hill, and the back of the trailer is just like digging in, but we got so much momentum and speed behind us, it's like no problem. And there's like traffic stopped on both ways, and we like literally drag all the dirt from the driveway up into the street, and there's just like a cloud behind us, and we're like, third gear, let's go, mobbing down. Yeah, dude. I wish we would have got that on film. Yeah. But they were like, oh, you guys can't get out of the driveway, you gotta make sure there's a truck that can pull you out in case you get stuck or whatever. Aaron texted back this morning. I'm like, all right, well, let's go scope it out and see what we can figure out. We figured it out, all right, we figured it out. Hey Seth, why of all the places to sit in this restaurant did you choose to sit right here?
There's no sun.
Okay.
That's my actual reason. But I didn't even see that. I love Maryland Monroe. You got a problem with that?
No problem.
Okay.
No problem.
You guys just waiting for your food, right?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. You want to give us an update on what's going on? Our current situation?
With what? The 10 things?
Being here?
We got here, and I mean, we don't have food to get, but you have food to get.
I'm talking about we're stranded here.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's because Brandon always sets up problems.
This is not my problem. This is not my fault. How is this my fault? I did not know that you weren't bringing your car. I didn't realize what time it was. I didn't realize how long it was going to take. I didn't realize all the traffic. We're just like, let's all get in the truck and go get breakfast. Like, cool. And then like,
It is your problem. But it's fine.
anyways, okay, I'll fill you in. We all drove in the truck. We're like, let's get food. And then it's like, oh, well, the place that we have to pick up a motor for my shop back home. I knew we had to do it.
For Brandon Wicknick.
For my shop. Sure. And we knew we had to do it today. We were late to the track, traffic, all that stuff. And then now Kelly dropped us off at this restaurant, and he's going to get the motor, and we're stuck here till he gets back. Last time we waited for Kelly to get back from somewhere that was supposed to take
Took us 3
not very
times
long.
long. Yeah. So now we might be here for 3 hours.
We might be in this restaurant for 3 hours. Both my car and Seth's car needs work before we can get on track. We just literally dropped the trailer off the track and left, and so we've done no work. Joey and Mikey have my car so they can go get parts. Seth's car is overheating, so we only brought one vehicle, and now Kelly has it, and he's probably gonna get stuck on the freeway. So this restaurant might be our home for the next 2 or 3 hours. But I saw they close at 3, so we might be sitting in the street.
This drift week has definitely been the least amount of car problems, I feel like, but the most amount of other problems.
Yeah.
The whole
That's true.
time.
Yeah. Look who the cat dragged in. Yeah. It's Dan Bucket. All the way from Tucson, Arizona. Why'd you stay so long in Tucson, Dan?
Vacation, dude.
You like it there?
Yeah, we hit some bars.
Looking for houses?
Went to an arcade, yeah. Checked out the housing market. Went shopping. Yeah, we had a good time.
You guys saw his motor, how
Yeah.
it was. And then I haven't told anyone what happened since we saw the motor last. What happened?
Things got crazy. I can't believe the motor lasted what it did with what we just did to it. It was air cooled for about 10 laps. I cannot imagine the temperatures that it got to.
With no water.
With no water, lifting the head and then combusting in all the cylinders at will, whenever it wanted to. So it was like the weirdest pre-detonation ever. And so it blew a hole all the way down to the ring in one piston, and then all of the other ones were on their way to doing that. Still had compression in every single cylinder. The head is chewed up above every single cylinder. Some of the valves even had. We were just like, okay, well, we're screwed. Dead in the water. We go next door, they have a 1JZ. The dude's like, oh yeah, I have a 1JZ. Because we asked him the day before and we took everything apart, and he's like, oh, I don't got anything.
He forgot that he had one?
Yeah, and then he remembered. He's like, oh yeah, I have a 1JZ. So it took us 3 hours to get it out of this trailer that was butted up against this thing, and then it's in a construction yard, and we had to forklift it out with this giant forklift, and we finally get it over there, and Scotty's got everything pulled out, ready to swap the new motor in. We're just gonna run a stock power 1J and just be happy as clams. And we go, and motor won't rotate.
It was seized?
Completely seized.
Was there rust or what? Did you ever?
So we opened it, we pulled
They
all the
pulled it out of the
plugs.
ocean after Fukushima?
So there was 2 plugs in the middle that were brand new, that didn't match any of the other plugs, and it was just like somebody left it open and then was like, I'm just gonna put a couple plugs in here. 2 of the cylinders rusted solid.
No.
Like we had a 10-foot breaker bar hanging on the end of it, would not break loose.
Dang.
That you told me it's like it's either it's going to be a rod brake situation or it's going to work just perfectly. That one would have sent a rod.
Oh yeah,
through
you
the side.
put it in 4th gear. You tow it down the road at 40 miles an hour,
Rotary
dump the
things,
clutch,
yeah.
and
then
see
you
what
release.
happens.
That would have just been like.
Yeah, no good.
So we rode this wave and we're like, no way, everything's great, and then it was just like
Back down.
now we're back to
Down there.
nice camera work, dude. Director of photography Brandon Wicknick. So we're just like, all right, well, that sucks. I spent an entire day trying to find a 2JZ bottom end, GE, GTE, didn't matter. We were just like, give us something.
Well, you said you were telling us you lost 4 or 5 hours just taking things apart because you thought that motor was going to work.
We thought the motor was going to work.
And digging it out of the container.
So then it's like, okay, well, let's put everything back together and just put the head gasket in and send it.
So you couldn't find another motor?
No. That is the same motor that you saw.
It's eaten up, the head's bad, the pistons got a hole in it.
Yeah.
And that's in your car?
That's in my car. We drove 8 hours. 8.5 hours. No issues. Didn't need any coolant on the way here.
So you changed the head, is it only a new head gasket?
Only a new head gasket. That's it.
Wow.
We drove 8 hours.
Last night?
Yeah, last night. And this morning when we went to go open it up, no water was out of the radiator.
So it held?
Because we didn't get into boost. We basically idled all the way here.
Probably got like 30 miles to the gallon.
Oh my God, we were killing it.
That's amazing.
We filled up once.
That's legendary, Dan.
Dude,
where's Scotty? Scotty needs a pat on the back.
It's just, I cannot believe what we put this motor through. And then we get here today and I'm like, on my thing, I'm like, I promise that I will do 1 entry today.
No, you drove it all the way here, then decided to drift?
Yeah. Because you know how smart we are.
Drift week. You got to do it.
I mean, it's not sit there week. Well, it is for me a lot of times.
Dang.
So then we go out, I do a lap, stays cool. I do another lap, stays cool. Did 8 laps.
Were you shredding hard?
I wasn't shredding hard, but I
you
was
were going,
pushing it.
Yeah.
Not like third gear roasties.
Right.
Then I got some tandems in. And then I came out, we cooled it down, and it ate a little bit of coolant. Okay, we can deal with that. Maybe it went out the overflow. Do another 8 laps. Pull it back in, same thing. Did another 8 laps, and finally that one got to 220. And then it wouldn't cool back down. So the head gasket is now, we let it cool down again and took all the, and now you can't see the coolant on the thing again. So now we're in the back, but 22 laps, an 8-hour drive on a motor with no pistons. It's basically a rotary at this point.
That is crazy.
And I can still drive.
Wow.
Why didn't I do this?
Legendary.
Why didn't I do this for Formula D? Why? What motor did I choose? Oh God, that was such a good decision.
That's crazy.
Insane.
That's crazy.
Thanks for.
Well, I'm glad you made it, Dan.
Thanks for turning me on to the Jay-Z lifestyle.
Yeah,
it's a good one.
Yeah, it could be better, but you know.
I mean,
yeah. Everybody go watch Dan's video from today, yesterday, whatever it is.
It's a drama-filled roller coaster of emotions.
It usually is. Whenever Dan posts something, there's usually some drama, some emotion, and yeah, it's good. That's why people watch your channel.
Yeah, man, it's
Dan Brockett, that's your channel, right? Or Officer Dan?
Yeah, you just search us.
Yeah, that's great.
Oh, by the way, I had multiple people reach out and say that your closing to my video was their favorite part.
Oh, nice.
Yeah,
nice.
Even my wife said that.
Maybe I should go.
I guess my closing sucks.
Maybe I should go watch your video. I'll do it on the way home.
I also said, somebody quoted me as like, Brandon may be Mormon and he may be ginger, but he has all my love. And somebody was like, that is the best thing I've ever heard, ever. So yeah.
Dan's back on the trip. Back on the trip.
At least for today.
Yeah.
And that's all I needed because my trailer is in. We brought our trailers to Riverside. My trailer's 4 minutes away from here.
Oh, so you needed to come back.
Yes.
And you made it back with the car under its own power.
I can drive into my trailer if we stop now.
when we left, you said, I'm getting a flight, we're gonna go back and get my trailer, we're gonna come pick up the car, but you guys made it with the same engine that dragged you out there.
We did.
I love it.
We drift weeked hard.
I love
this
it.
Drift week.
I gotta go talk to Scotty. I'm gonna go find Scotty.
Go get him.
All right. Thanks, Dan.
Love you.
So, Brandon, when you asked Kelly, hey man, I need you to do something, and you were like, and he was like, yeah, no problem, what do you need? And he was like, I've really not enjoyed having a passenger taillight. And Kelly was like, I got you, dog. Passenger taillight delete. Done. We were just talking about how loyal Kelly is. And look at that. And he was like, wires?
Wires and all, man.
No.
Nicely twisted together.
Just get rid of that. I mean, what happened is taillight was down here, just spinning, obviously. So, that Kelly, just solid. My guy. Your passenger taillight delete. Sick. What a sick mod. Oh, you know what I'm saying, dog?
After Kelly's road trip yesterday, he pulls up to the track just defeated, tired, everything, and the tailgate's like halfway falling off the truck.
Dang.
Or I mean the tailgate's out, the taillight's gone. And we're saying, hey, he's like, I don't know, man. I don't know. I didn't know it was gone. How do you lose a taillight going 5 miles an hour for 60 miles?
You know, you think you'd have to have some speed. It must have been on the dirt road.
That had to have been. I can't believe you didn't see it.
Yeah, that's wild. This truck's falling apart and the bed's broken. I don't even know how this happened. Like, it's cracked. We actually have the bed strapped together because the whole side of the bed's falling off. What did you do?
I had a good night with this truck.
Oh, man. So, have a look at how bad my tension rod brackets got. It's definitely blown out on that side. And this side is caved in. See that? It curves in there. So there must be a ton of load on that from those arms being adjusted improperly. And it's the same with this one. This one's not as bad. But it's definitely blown out where Cricket welded it. Nothing wrong with the way he welded it, it's just there's a ton of load on these. And then this side, see if I can get it from me. Yeah, you can't really tell from here. But that's kind of bad. So I don't really want to mess with it right now. I'm gonna do a few laps today, and then I'm gonna work on it tonight at the Airbnb. And then hopefully be good tomorrow, and I'll just shred all day. We'll show up on time tomorrow and just last day of the trip, last track day of the trip. I just want to shred all day long with no problems. So it's 3 o'clock and we're finally doing our first lap of the day. Today's been a very lazy day, a lot of stuff going on. But I at least want to get a few laps today before we have to go fix the car. I probably should fix it before I drive it. That would be the smart thing to do, but I usually don't do the smart thing. I do the thing that I want to do, and usually that's not the best idea, but I also don't learn my lesson. So let's hit the road. Just kidding, let's hit the track. On the first lap out, we rebent that tie rod. I never changed it. It was bent from the last track, and so we had bent it straight and drove here. Well, first lap out, I felt the tires grab the frame again and just bent the tie rod in half. I was hoping to get a lap or two without doing any work on the car, but that clearly wasn't going to happen. So, yeah, my day's not going so well. I wasn't expecting much. Look how bad this tension rod bracket is, dude. You see that? Like, it is straight moved up. Like, the pickup point is moved in. Look how it's bent from down there. Like, everything just moved inward.
Yeah.
That's bad news.
That's really bad.
And like right there's bent. If you even look at the front subframe lower support, the radiator support, that's all tweaked. It's put so much pressure on.
Oh my God, it's broke the welds.
No, it hasn't.
Yeah, it has.
Dude, this is, yeah. Remember when I said it was a big,
It's a
it
big
was more than I
problem.
want to deal with
Yeah,
right
this
now?
is more than a big.
Oh my gosh. We might be able to rivet that back at the house just to hold it together so I can get it to the shop. Because what the problem is, these two pickup points, since they're fixed, this is supposed to be two separate arms, which I guess doesn't really make a big difference, but like they're adjusted wrong. So when it travels, it's like pushing inward on that because there's too much load on one of them. One of them's out of place where it should be.
You do the same thing when you're turning as well. Any sort of load on the front end is going to push on that.
All right, here's Kelly's Tech Talk of the day. Pew, 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 pew.
Oh my gosh, did you guys see that? The world spun. Oh my lord.
It was you spinning. The camera was stationary.
No, the world spun. You were stationary.
Oh yeah.
The world is always spinning. We just caught it on camera. Okay. So we broke all this stuff, but I wanted to talk about this this lower control arm. It's really, really nice. It's a Jige deck.
Jige deck.
Jige deck. The Jige deck control arm. They're trying to compete with WiseFab, and it's a really, really nice setup. It combines your tension rod with your lower and brings your pickup point out farther, so you have a longer, lower control arm.
We got a tech tip. We got a tech tip. I got to see what's going on with Dan real quick. 1 second. I'll be right back. It's not a snub. I'm not snubbing you. I'll be right back. Dan, what happened? Daniel!
Hello.
You crashed?
I didn't crash. I got crashed into.
Oh.
On entry, Robbie went up and outside, and I was trying to dip down around him because he went off track. And then instead of staying off track, he initiated into my wheel mid-turn, and it broke my lower control arm. which ruined my fender. My motor didn't go.
That's what my first thought was like, oh, finally the motor went.
Nope, still kicking.
Crash!
Did another 6 laps before that happened.
The new arm.
Huh?
The extended arm.
Yeah.
Oh.
He hit it pretty hard.
Oh. Good luck, Dan.
Thanks, bud.
Car, no! Car broken! Wait, where's Kelly?
We're finishing the tech tip.
What is it?
I need a jacket. That's tech tip.
Oh, me too.
number
It's
one.
cold.
You want a jacket?
Will you put it on for me?
Yeah.
Okay. No, I need a zip up. I can't go overhead.
Oh, we're going overhead. You're taking too much effort here.
Means the glasses gotta come off and the thing's gotta come off. Head first.
Okay, head first. Hold on, hold
Arm.
on.
Arms in.
Hold on,
That's what I tell my boys. Arms in.
Okay, arms in. Arms in. Good boy. He is a good boy. Now
You guys want to go through my arm, or do you want me to? I'll do
no,
this.
no.
No. Arm goes solo.
Good boy.
Was that the tech tip?
That's tech tip numero uno. Always bring a towel or jacket and finish this.
All right.
So, we broke the frame. Broke the core support. And the thing that I was trying to get at earlier is that this is supposed to be very free floating without any of this other stuff here. If you just have this arm in, you should be able to move it quite easily. Now when you have this adjusted wrong, it pushes pressure backwards, which puts tension on this, what are these called?
Heim joint.
Heim joints. So usually most cars don't have Heim joints. There's a bushing here and the bolt goes through, there's a metal sleeve on the inside and you put stress on that bushing. Now this metal Heim joint is gonna be like a lot stronger. It's supposed to move easier and not break, right?
I wonder if we're maxing out the limit of the Heim, because the Heim only has so much movement before it's metal on metal. And if you get metal on metal with a Heim joint because of some misalignment or like things aren't perfectly set up, then that could definitely cause major damage. The problem is it's hard to figure that out without taking everything apart and then moving the arm through its full sweep. It's just too much stuff to do on the track. Like we need to get back to the shop and do some development on this.
Yeah, we'll quick fix it by just putting a tire on it and going home. Just relaxing for one day.
Well, it's not. I'm gonna work on it tonight.
Okay, but relaxing for one day in the video. We're gonna relax, hang out, do whatever. But so we're just gonna do a tire. We're not gonna bend this one back. It doesn't make any sense to re-bend it because it's already bent twice now.
Yep.
And we want to do as minimal work at the house as possible. We want to do as minimal work here as possible too. But
this is tie rod. This is the fourth tie rod. Fourth tie, yeah. I'm running out of fingers.
yeah.
This will be the fourth one. I sold one that I had. Dan had this one for me, and then there's one more after we replace this one. We can't afford to bend another one.
We should probably chill out.
Well, we got two on that car.
We should probably chill out.
Understood.
Yeah.
Understood.
Okay.
Message received.
You licking what I'm spitting, man?
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, let's do some work.
All right.
All right, guys. So we're trying to straighten this tension rod bracket out. This is what we came up with. We're gonna tug on it with a tow strap to try and get it back into place. Because you see that gap at the top there? That gap needs to be not a gap. So I think by tugging on it, it'll allow us to pull that bottom back in a little bit and get back in place before anything worse happens. I don't want to fix the whole front end without bending that back, and I don't see a way to hammer it very easily, so I want to pull it while it's all together. We're using a weak strap on purpose because I don't want to pull too hard, but I actually think that's going to give up like right away. So I guess we'll see what happens. Yo!
Hold on, Kelly, hold on.
don't think it did a whole lot. It may not work like we were hoping.
Okay. Well, this is a really crappy strap.
Yeah, there was a lot of flex in the strap, but I mean, you were also tugging it pretty hard, so I feel like I should have done something.
Yeah. Well, you
I don't know.
we could try it again, but it's. I mean, I don't think it's not worth it to try again. This is a crappy strap.
Okay, let's try it with something stronger.
Let's try it with something better. I wanted to use
We can see
crappy
the
one.
car's moving before it tries to bend anything, so.
Well, it's, I'm trying to do it, you know.
Yeah, I get it. We'll use a stronger strap.
Yeah, okay.
All right, we're gonna try pulling from a little bit different spot. See if we can work it in stages. So I hope it doesn't rip that out. Be easy on her, Kelly. Well, that's not easy. Too far back. There you go. Okay. Didn't seem to do a whole lot, I can't tell. Okay, I'm gonna move it to this hole now. Maybe from the bottom, see if we can pull it that way. Okay, ready?
Yeah.
It's another small hole, so it'll kind of be easy on it.
Is it one of the tension rod bracket holes?
Yeah,
Okay.
the very bottom. Okay. Not bad. A little more. Okay. I actually did something. Okay, go again. A little more. Okay. This actually works pretty well. At least that part worked pretty well. Still kind of crinkled. I don't know if we can get this up there. Back it up! Back up! Okay, go a little bit. Okay. I think that actually did something that time. Not bad, not bad. Still kind of mangled, but we're getting in the right zone. I think we'll drive back to the Airbnb like that. All right, so we're gonna glass this piece tonight. It's starting to fall off again. The rivets didn't hold because there's nothing to tap into underneath. But in the meantime, we just taped it down so it wouldn't flap in the wind on the freeway. I'm gonna leave the bumper off. We're gonna take the car home, take the not home, to the mansion where we sleep on the floor. We're gonna take the whole front end apart, try and straighten some stuff out, redo the tie rod, just try and do everything on the front end and just reset, start from scratch, because whatever I keep doing is not working very well. So we're gonna take the truck. Seth's car's having problems. We'll get to that in a second. I'll have him tell his story. He's over there making friends, and we'll see what's going on with that. But today was kind of a wash for driving. We got half a lap, not even one lap, and the tie rod bent right away. So I think I'm gonna do something a little bit different. And tonight I'm gonna talk about everything we did on the car, what's working, what's not working, and make that into an episode. Since we did so much on the build series, I haven't really followed up on like how the trip's going. And since it's almost the last day and I don't have much driving content, I'm gonna work on that tonight while we're working on the car.
So today's interesting. What was that?
You can't start. I gotta start. So today's interesting.
Okay, James Pumphrey.
We're
just
leaving
steal
the
my
track.
lines.
Yeah. We're just heading out of the track. We're gonna go drop the truck and trailer off and go to the B&B, get some food. What's your plan?
I'm kind of in the way down to San Diego, which is like 2.5 hours from here. 2.5 hours back with a lower control arm, a knuckle, a tie rod, and everything I need to do to get going again, to get back out on the road to finish off tomorrow and hoot again. What a guy.
Yeah.
That's common courtesy, ladies and gentlemen.
Tandem courtesy.
You don't have to pay for my stuff.
Just offer to help make it right.
Give me some incentive to help out.
Yeah.
If it was my fault, I would have done the same for him.
Yep.
Like, yo, let me get you a tail light, I'll drive you to the junkyard, whatever you need. Just the little things.
When Fielding crashed me, he offered whatever you need on my box to fix your car, and I was like, that's fair, you know?
The answer you don't say is, yeah, that's
good luck,
drifting,
man. That's
dude.
It's just a drift car,
That's
bro.
what happened when the dude hit my car with the pole last time I was here. That's what he said. Drifting. And I was like, you broke an origin fender and a brick headlight.
That's drifting, bro.
That's just drifting, idiot.
You weren't even tandeming.
And I wasn't even in the car on the track. So yeah, there's a big difference between when that's okay and when that's not okay.
Yeah. Be a homie.
Be a homie. Don't be a... Are you gonna edit that?
Sorry, Amber.
Don't be a dandelion. There's a lot of words that start with D, including Dan, that are bad words, but I didn't say any of them.
All right, we just got done having Korean barbecue. The other boys had some ramen. Pretty good stuff. This is kind of the Asian district area. Am I allowed to say Asian? Oriental? No, you can't say Oriental. Asian. I don't know, man.
Oh, no.
I can't be PC, man.
I'm losing it right now.
Just there's Korean, there's Japanese, there's Chinese. It's like I'm down. I love it all.
So good.
You gotta stop, man. You're being a little too extra for me right now. We're about to head back to the mansion to sleep on our floor in the peasant quarters.
Ooh, that's irritating.
Yeah. I'm surprised they haven't asked us to mop the floor yet.
No, hey man, this place is kind of dirty.
Can you guys,
You guys clean up, bro. We paid good money.
we've been spearing beer all over the floor.
That's sticking in my feet, gross, man.
But I'm basically gonna spend all night working on my car and see how that goes. Hopefully I can get everything figured out because I really want to drive tomorrow. One lap and my tie rod's bent.
We yanked it with a truck, it's fine. It's fine.
My footage is going to be way better.
Hey boys.
There's already one vlog happening here at the table, please.
Oh, that's fantastic.
Your phone's upside down.
good. Is that beer? It smells good. It smells.
So I found a spot at the Airbnb to park my car to work on it. There's actually like a back porch area, balcony, whatever you want to call it. And there's a driveway coming up to here. So like literally that's the kitchen, living room area of this B&B. And I got my car parked right out here. And there's a little bit of light and there's shade, although I don't need it. But this will be a good spot to be close to the action. That way I can like not feel isolated, but also be able to work on my car. And we got all the tools we need in the back of the truck. And in Mikey's car, he's gonna pull it up here. So I'm gonna get started working on this thing. Basically, I'm gonna lift the front end, take all the control arms off, probably take off a lot of the suspension, the tension rod, brackets, and all that stuff. And then just try and get everything straightened out and make sure everything sweeps and swivels and pivots and does all that stuff correctly. That way I don't have any more bending issues tomorrow. But I also heard some noises in the back end. So I'm gonna lift up the rear and check some of that stuff, like the all the suspension bolts, and then the 4 subframe attachment bolts. And Aaron said something about wanting to do an interview, so I think he's gonna come around here with Sai and probably interview me while I'm working on my car. And I'm pretty sure he's just gonna like talk crap on the car or me or whatever, but I'm ready for it. Bring it on, Aaron. Bring it on. All right, so I spent a little bit of time doing an interview with Aaron, so I didn't get a whole lot of work done. But I got the control arm off and got some of the stuff adjusted. This is boring, I'm not gonna go into detail. But there's a lot of crazy stuff going on in here. I don't know what these guys are up to. There's something going on over here.
Ruined a $40 million boat. Well, you're not get that. You want that too?
What's going on here?
Alright, fuck it, he says. There we go. There we go. We can all the pop on the table. I only want one. Just one. You're too lucky, huh? You in?
What's this game?
You in? Dice?
Dice?
Yep.
Not yet. Not yet. I'm gonna watch.
Everybody at the table gets one. Here we go. Y'all are all partying. We got the work gloves on.
Yeah, party animal.
All right, here we go. We have to put money into the game? Come on, man. Come on, man. Here we go. 7. Oh! That's 7, though. Give me this money. I'm taking this thing with us.
Over the table blind, I see.
Hey, who brought those dice?
Yeah, I brought those dice. Hey, you got it on camera. You saw that.
I saw it.
Let's go. Who's up?
Oh man.
I'm betting my sugar daddy right
These guys over here playing Forza. Yep, that's where the action is. But I'm gonna come back here to working.
She was talking to me.
I go in there and I'm like, what are you guys playing? And then fielding rolls a 7 and takes everybody's money. I'm like, okay, that's the only roll I saw. I'm like, wait a minute, who brought those dice? He's like, those are my dice.
They're loaded.
Oh yeah. All right, I'm gonna get back to work. So we just got done working on the car, and I decided I would just talk a little bit about the car since I don't have a lot of footage from today. When we built this car, we did things a little bit differently. Not really, I mean, it's the same recipe, but when I say that, I mean we used some different parts and some things that I would hope that would work well. So I'm gonna talk about a few of them and my feedback on how that stuff is now that I've driven the car at 6 events. Well, the main thing is the VVTi non-turbo engine that we turboed. So the GET they call it, or the NAT. This is a IS300 engine block and cylinder head that we put rods and pistons in. CP rods and Carrillo rods and CP pistons. And stock 2J NA head with stock cams and all that stuff. It's got a large intake manifold and a decent turbo manifold. And so my impression on the engine is that it's amazing. It works really well. It's got good throttle response. It sounds healthy. It's just like any other 2J, except it's less expensive. So for me, I'm sold on this combo. It's really good. I don't see any major benefits in having a turbo cylinder head over this one. One thing I'd probably want is some cams for this so that it has a profile for a turbocharger as opposed to the NA profile. I haven't noticed a big difference, but I'll bet there's some gains to be had by having like a good pair of 264 cams with the NA head. So engine wise, I'm stoked. Also, we went with a small turbo. It's a 3076 with a 63 housing, and this thing spools really quick. I'm getting full boost by like 3,200 RPM, and I'm not doing a lot of clutch kicking, so that saves me on that side of things, not having to clutch kick and really put a lot of load on the engine to get the boost to come up. In this car, it's a rocket ship. It does really well. It's at like 19 pounds of boost, and it just rips. It sounds really healthy, feels really healthy, and engine and turbo wise, I'm super happy. It also has an EMU black with the ADU 7 dash. I haven't had time to wire up the CAN bus to USB adapter so I could actually mess with the dash, but just the functionality so far, it seems to be working really well, and it has the look and the feel that I like for a race dash. This is actually the first one I've ever had, but it looks like how I want it to. It'd be nice to be able to configure it, which I'll do once I get that wired up, but I just haven't had time on the trip, and both my laptops died on this trip, so I literally don't have any way to adjust the car or the dash without borrowing the laptop from Seth. So I haven't spent a lot of time messing with that. Aside from that, we've got the GK Tech front arms and knuckles. They're actually the knuckles that I had on my Icon car that I did really well with last year, this past year. I really love driving that car. The difference is I put the arms and knuckles together on one car, and it's working really well. Today and yesterday I've actually had problems because I adjusted the arms improperly, so I was putting all sorts of load on the tension rod brackets, and it bent the tension rod brackets because I misadjusted the arms. So today tonight, that's what we were working on, is taking out the whole front suspension apart, resetting it, getting the lengths right, measuring, getting all the stuff set for the front end. And it looks like it's going to work really well tomorrow. I put one of my last 2 tie rods on. I've got one more if I bend this one, so I'm hoping we can do one more track day, which is all we got left at Adams, without having any problems. That's my goal tomorrow, is just drive with no more problems with the tie rods or front suspension. So the front combo, it has amazing angle, it drives really good, it has good, all that stuff. One thing this car has not impressed me with is the ability to transition quickly. It doesn't seem to be able to go from lock to lock, or if I'm chasing someone, I can't really keep up, because when I go to transition, it's a little bit lazy. So I need to figure that out and get that dialed in if I'm going to take this to clutch kickers and do well. The diff and axles and drive shaft, all that stuff seems to be really strong. I haven't had any issues there. We did have a cheap AutoZone axle, or a O'Reilly axle, fail on us, but that hasn't really been a major issue because I knew it was, you know, a cheap axle to start with. The transmission has been giving me a little bit of problems. Sometimes it struggles to shift and grinds a little bit. The clutch has slipped on me in 3rd gear. This clutch combo I've used in my last car and this car, it just can't handle the amount of torque that this car has with this setup, with the amount of grip we're putting on it. So I probably really should upgrade to a twin disc clutch for this car, which I'll probably do before I take it to clutch kickers. I don't want to have clutch problems. I want to be able to shift to 3rd. I want to be able to really abuse this car and know that it'll handle the abuse. Transmission, I don't really know what I'm going to do with that. I think it's livable. I don't have to shift a ton at clutch kickers, but when the transmission gets hot, it seems to have some issues. I don't know if it's a clutch issue, like if the clutch is having problems causing the transmission not to shift right, or if the fluid gets hot. I'm not quite sure, because when I'm driving on the street, it feels good, but it doesn't shift nearly as good as at higher PM as my other transmission does. It's CD09 in this one, CD09 in the other one, so maybe this one's a little more worn out. I'm not sure. But I probably won't change the transmission because it seems to do good from 1st to 2nd, and that's really what I was dealing with at clutch kickers. What else? The handbrake is mediocre. It seems to work all right. I probably need to put some really good new pads on it. I used my used pads from the Icon car because I couldn't get the other ones in time. Now I have the other ones, but I haven't swapped the pads, so I'll probably mess with that. But it works okay. So that's another thing that I'll probably address before I go to clutch kickers. I'm actually going to Winter Jam in the middle of December to shake this car down and just to have a really good time at Sonoma. I haven't been there for a few years, and I really love that event, and this is the perfect car for it because it's caged and it's just ready to go shred at that track. What else? Oh, the cooling system is a big weakness on this car. I've been having a lot of problems with overheating, with the car getting too hot, and it has the good fan on it. It has everything I can think of to cool well, other than like a really big radiator. It's got like a decent sized cheap radiator, but I'll probably invest in getting a really good thick radiator. I'll make a dual pass out of it, and then hopefully that'll be enough to keep this car cool. But no matter what I've ever done, I've had problems keeping JZ's cool. This one has a single oil cooler, which has seemed to do the trick. I don't have an oil temp gauge, which I need to wire in because I really want to keep tabs on the oil temp. What else? The intercooler is a little bit small, but I haven't really noticed that being an issue. It seems to be effective. The fan pulls a lot of air through the front of the car, so I know the fan's cooling the intercooler and the oil cooler both, but for some reason it can't keep the radiator cool. Man, everything else is working well. The ECU is doing its job. The car runs really well. One of the tracks that got really hot, and I did a couple more laps, and now when I'm cranking the car, it sounds like it's got lower compression on one of the cylinders. I haven't done a compression test. I haven't confirmed that, but I've been pretty good at diagnosing those kind of things just by sound in the past, and so I'm pretty sure that there's a weak cylinder. I'm hoping it's cylinder head related because this has brand new pistons, brand new rings. It was machined very tight. It's a really good solid motor. I don't seem to have any excess blow by, but it does make that sound on cranking, which has me worried. Aside from that, there's a couple spots on the engine that have started leaking oil just a little bit. Since I went off in the dirt, there's dirt kind of everywhere, and now you can really see the oil spots that are coming out. So one of the spots looks like maybe the exhaust side cam seal, so I need to keep an eye on that. I'll probably pull it apart when I get home. One time I did check the oil and it was extremely low, and I was like, where's it going? Doesn't seem to be burning it. There's no major leaks, but it was down like 3 quarts.
And so I never really figured that out. I just topped it off. I thought maybe the dipstick had pulled out or wasn't reading correctly. Never really got to the bottom of that one. So that's another thing I'm concerned about, is where that oil went. Most likely, I would think that it would come out of the catch can, right? If it had blow by or something like that, but the catch can's not wet. There's no problem with that. So that is definitely a concern. I need to keep an eye on that. And, but man, other than those few things, like, this car is really, really good. Phenomenal. I'm super stoked on how well it came out for what we did. And I mean, when I drive it, it doesn't feel like a budget car. When I look at it, it doesn't really feel like a budget car, other than the wrap peeling. But it really drives as if it were a car that I spent $20,000 on, and I'm super stoked on that, because there's not a lot of things I would have done different in this build, even if I had a higher budget for it. So, but yeah, that's the end of the video. Thanks for watching, guys. Today was kind of a wash for me drifting. I literally got 1/2 a lap, didn't even drift. The tie rod bent immediately, and then I just kind of called it a day. Tomorrow I'm going to try and do a full day of drifting. But, oh yeah, before I end the video, let's hear about what happened to Seth's car.
Pretty sure the head gasket's blown. It probably was a known issue. Car occasionally misfired. But wasn't really a big issue. As we started driving to Adams, it started to misfire, or not misfire, it started to overheat, and yeah, now like even idling, the car, it goes up to 240 Fahrenheit, which is not good. So
It's pretty high for a BMW.
yeah, normally it's at like 190 or whatever. So I think we only have 1 track day left, so I'll probably just leave it as it is. If it was more track days, I'd fix it. But being that there's only 1 track day left, it's not super worth it to me to fix, especially after I want to change so much stuff. Not spend a bunch of excess money after I've already spent so much. But car did well the whole rest of the trip, did well. No issues with anything. I had not a single issue the entire trip. Besides this now. So,
And it looks good.
yeah, finally looks
Finally.
well.
Oh, those bumpers. So you did IS300 bumpers, right?
Yep.
And
IS300 BN kit.
looks good on that car. And they're
we had
both...
to chop a bunch of stuff and change dimension wise just because it doesn't fit perfectly, but the BN kit looks good. The over fenders Luke and I made
from scratch.
From scratch, which we'll be making molds soon and selling.
Best looking kit for an E36 coupe.
Yep, we'll be making front fenders soon, but for now we just have rears done. Now Euros finally have a style that looks decent for drifting. But yeah, I'm happy. We're good. I've accomplished what I wanted to accomplish. A lot of people like the kit and want it, so it's kind of what I came here for this trip for, rather than driving as much. But the car did well. I drove the whole time. Only really at this last event at Adams has it been an issue, with a known possible issue. Yeah, so we're good.
Yeah.
So.
Alright guys, thanks for watching the video. Stayed up late last night, so I'm making my outro in the morning. But don't forget to like, subscribe, and follow along for more, because we've got more content coming. Drift Week's almost over, but we're going to push hard to the end. And here's a little scene from the carnage last night. I think these guys went a little bit too hard.
Apparently there was a war, and somebody lost. I don't know. Everybody loses in a war.
Say bye.
Bye-bye.
Yeah, that's all right.
An
Okay, that's aggressive.
Oh, you got it. Can you guys pretend like you're excited this time? Oh, yeah, okay.
Across the table. I was just worried he was
committed.